father being able to get the penalty kick and you guys being able to pull it out?
Well, proud of the group. Obviously, going down 1-0, and then coming back. There haven't been a lot of those moments where we go down 1-0 and we feel like we are able to get a result. And so, that's confidence building, and it obviously took a response to do so. But really proud of the young guys to be able to perform, get some minutes, feel part of the group, and we got to carry on that confidence, that belief that we can do that on the road.
For you, starting with a bunch of those young guys there, how were you able to kind of step up as a leader and be able to command both sides of that field?
Yeah, communication is the most important piece, right? When you're playing with young guys, sometimes less is more, and sometimes I was there obviously when I was much younger. We do a lot of pointless running, and there's times where you don't have to run as much as you do when you're that young and full of energy. And so just communicating and trying to get the boys on the same page, and so that was my goal going into the game. And I was off the field when we scored 2 goals, but really proud that we responded in a great way.
Is that kind of what the message was too at halftime? Kalani was kind of talking about nobody's head being down. Was there, can you share a little bit about what the discussions were maybe at halftime as far as being able to come in?
Yeah, number 1, belief. Number 2, being able to respond when things don't go your way, right? It's Open Cup is so interesting because it seems like nothing quite goes according to plan. And so when we talked at halftime, we even before the game, we talked about how the game can get out of hand, and things can feel a bit uncontrolled. And so when we're going down 1-0, we talked about that exact moment before the game and at halftime, about not putting your heads down and getting a result, after dealing with some adversity.
So what about weighing the significance of that? Can you talk about you playing on the inside, and that's something that, in some games, something that you do as well?
Yeah, I think when I'm playing a little bit more central and a little bit further back, my role shifts. Communication, again, is really important, getting guys in the right spot so that we can press in the right moments, making sure that we don't concede transition moments, because a lot of the time when you're in the attack, you're almost in the back seat trying to avoid transition so that we can keep and sustain attack. So your role kind of shifts when you start moving further back, and leadership is obviously really important, especially when you're playing with young guys.
As a fellow Husky, how have you seen Kalani grow over these last few months?
Well, I think Kalani showed extremely well in preseason, and I think it's a bummer that he didn't get signed initially. And those are the conversations that I had with Kalani from the get-go. Don't put your head down, because he'll get those chances. And he even talked about it with me about, for him it was more about the environment and how he can, see his path into the first team. And he saw that here. And so credit to him for signing a second-team contract and believing that he'll get a chance. And to be fair, I think he took full advantage of it.
Are you bonding with him specifically all more than other young players, maybe because of the UW thing?
Yeah, UW thing, but also I see a lot of the same traits that I had kind of coming out of college, right? He's extremely athletic. I wasn't quite as athletic as him, but being able to play multiple positions, good head on his shoulders. His work ethic is unbelievable, and he's gonna have a bright future. But it's about the environment, right? And the coaches and the players alongside believing that he's gonna have an impact at some point with this team.
Against Vancouver, the team started well for the first 15 minutes, and Brian talked about it. What's been the messaging around trying to start well, continue what makes sense?
Yeah, it's important when you're 1-0 up. We talked about transition. We felt that transition was not there against Vancouver, and hasn't really been there all year. But that's going to be extremely important when you're up 1-0, right? Teams open up, and so how can you exploit teams that open up and go for a win? And transition is really important for that. Sustaining the ball, right? Keeping the ball, making the other team run is really important. And then at times, right, grinding out games, right? We've done that in the past, and we did that against teams like Philly, and so for us, it's a combination of all those things. There's no one answer, right? I think every game is situationally different, and so it's really important to have a fine balance between all those three things.
Can you describe the mood of the team heading into St. Louis?
Well, I think the confidence of the group is there, right? I think we've had a decent run of form as of late, as of our last 4 games or so. But it's something to build off of. You can't be too high, too low. We talked about the roller coaster of a season, and so really important to build off this win for sure. Go on the road it is always tough in St. Louis, and so building off and feeling like the group is heading in the right way.
2 games in 5 days. How important is it to get those 6 points?
Really important to have a good mentality. Number one, 6 points. Obviously, it's tough, right? This league is very difficult, and when you're on the road, we obviously want to get results, and it seems like we've been a little bit better on the road than at home, and so for us, it's about having the right mentality going into this game, and looking to get a result, not just tie a game, or not just be happy with playing just fine, but getting a result is more important.
What makes St. Louis dangerous?
Well, they press extremely well. They're very direct, so second ball is going to be really important. They put the ball in front of goal, and defensively we're going to have to be sharp. We're going to have to be up for the game, because it is a team that thrives off emotion and energy, and so really important to have our intensity in the right spot.
When it comes to the Open Cup, what is the general philosophy of the players? Like, are there players that are pushing to get, like, were you asking Brian to play in this game? Are players wanting to play? I mean, you look at the roster, and it's a lot of reserve players, and even a bunch of there's 4 Defiance players on the roster. Is that something, like, is the team looking at this as a chance to win a trophy, or is it more of an afterthought of, like, look, regular season is still more important?
For me personally, it's a way to get into Champions League. It's a way to win a trophy. There's bonuses involved. There's legacies involved. For me, I haven't won Open Cup. I want to win Open Cup, and so I asked Schmetz indirectly, talking about how good I feel during the week, trying to get into the squad, and so it was. Yeah, look, it's a trophy nonetheless, and so that's for us the most important thing, and I hope that we have a roster filled with a little bit more first team guys going into the next game, because we're going to be on the road, and it's going to be a tough environment, and so we're going to need bodies. But look, I understand frustrations even within our first team guys. It's hard to risk injury right now with how many injuries we've had. So, it's a double-edged sword for sure. We see JB going down, but it's a great opportunity for guys to showcase themselves. I thought guys like Stu, Kalani, Georgie has shown well in these moments, and so you want to give opportunity, but it's that fine balance between opportunity and taking it serious and going for it.
When you say that you got to do it indirectly, does that make St. Louis a really important game for you to show that you can handle both, or handle the tough week?
Yeah, look. Schmetz pulled me in and talked about durability and being able to, showcase that throughout my career, and so that was the reason why he kind of put me in. But St. Louis is another opportunity for me to show that I still have that durability, that I still can compete three games in a week, and so it's going to be really important for me to have a good game so that I can feature in games throughout the year.
As you get kind of direct thing, as you get closer to the final, the U.S. Open Cup, does that discussion become direct?
Oh yeah, I mean even our next opportunity, right? We're in the quarterfinals. It's that's the reality, right? We're one win away from getting into a semifinal, and so it's when we talk about playoffs, life or death. A game that you either go home or you stay in the Open Cup, or you go home, and so that's an opportunity for me to get in there and hopefully get ourselves in the semifinal.